Saw it in your eyes, like nothing had to be. Truth, not disguises, deals all compromises. I felt it in your heart. The change in me is real. All swept aside and new, bright, whole and justified.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing tonight? Brent back with another quick album review for you. A Tower of Clocks is the much anticipated second album by the Yorkshire progressive rock band This Winter Machine. This Winter Machine came out of nowhere in 2016 as an unknown band who produced a highly regarded and increasingly popular The Man Who Never Was album, full of finely crafted and catchy songs. And this, of course, is the physical copy of that album. There's the track listing for everybody to see on the back. You know, as a debut goes, it was a truly impressive piece of work, displaying, remarkable assurance and maturity and the quality of songs and the performance. This Winter Machine has had an incredible growth since its debut album up to the Tower of Clocks. It's almost related to watching a child grow up. It's that kind of impact on me, and I think it would be on a lot of people how the group has matured in these 3 years. And with that growth of the brand, of course, therefore there is a lot of high expectations on this second album among their growing fan base. It's drawn by the high quality of their debut and a series of increasingly polished and entertaining live shows around the UK. Unfortunately, I'm in Canada and my chances are probably pretty small that I'll ever see them live, but if I do, I am sure it'll be a show to remember. It's very clear to me that this album, right off the start with the first and second listens, that this will not disappoint any of the new fans or the old fans for that matter. As with any great prog album, this is a concept album, and I'm not going to give away too much of the story and the detail of the songs, which I'm going to go into next, because I think this would be something best left for the listener to experience themselves. And believe me, it's quite the story. It's very poetically well done and almost in times very emotional as well. The album kicks off with an instrumental called Herald, and this kind of sets the stage for the album. It's a very atmospheric opener, and it quickly becomes immediate and obvious to me, and I'm going to expect probably when you listen to it as well, that this band is very confident. This is truly an impressive and engaging opener. It's solidly and unashamedly in the neo-prog vein of melodic progressive rock, and they do it extremely, extremely well. After the first song, Herald, we have a song called Flying, and this is the first song that has vocals on it. It's a very sensitive song built around a piano, and it's got a very, very lush, beautiful synth background as well. And this gives lead vocalist Al Winter a fine, fine framework for which he sings with clarity and emotion, and you really didn't hear a lot of that on the first album. And this album takes that and builds upon it, and we have, I'm going to say probably 4 or 5 songs that he really, really lets out his emotion. And Al, you've got an incredible gift for that. Keep it up in the future, buddy. Following Flying is a song called Spiral, and this is the only weak point of the album to me. This song just doesn't simply add anything to the album and the overall feel to the album. I'm not saying it's a bad song or anything like that. I just don't think it fits. That's just my opinion, but like I said, that would be my only strong critique of the whole album. Alright, after Spiral we have a song called Symmetry and Light. Symmetry and Light may be the most interesting and diverse piece on A Tower of Clocks. It shows that this is also a band willing to stretch the boundaries and blend musical ideas in very stimulating mixtures. This is a song displaying that This Winter Machine want to give the listener and the fans some accessible hooks, sometimes even pop-like nature as well. Vocalist Al Winter sings in a very skillful and flowing manner over a very incessant guitar line, and then the song steps up with some really powerful rock in the chorus before settling back down to the tripping verse rhythm. It's an unusual and ambitious song which strangely but successfully melts pop sensibilities with straight-ahead rock and a little bit of touch of theater in there as well. Following Symmetry and Light, we have Justified and In Amber. These two songs bring the album to a more gentle and straightforward territory. They both act as an ideal showcase for Al Winter's excellent vocals, which I must say have come almost tenfold, like I mentioned earlier on this album. He's got a very unique but a very passionate and emotional vocal at the same time. And this, of course, being the first two songs and the first taste we really got from A Tower of Clocks. I remember downloading, I think it was back in early summer, Justified from the website, and I was blown away by how much emotional and feel the song had, and I really, even from that day, looked forward to this album, and hopefully we get to see it in a couple more weeks. That would be perfect, because it's definitely a gem out there, and I think everybody would enjoy this song. These songs actually in their own personal, inside emotional heart. Following In Amber, we have a song called The Hunt. Now this time the Winter Machine as a group have propelled the album in a much more dramatic direction, with more story influenced songs, more narrative type songs. There's a sinister keyboard drone in this album that drenches the opening, as well as with some spooky guitar chords and a very subtle percussion undertones and a very spoken word type lyric from Al Winter. The Hunt is most literally quite a ride, imaginatively portrayed as well as emotionally portrayed, and it's just one of those songs that it takes you on a journey from start to finish. After The Hunt, we have another song called Delta, and this is probably my second favorite on the album. It's musically outstanding, and it's probably the most prog-oriented song on the album, and it's really stirring and quite memorable as well. Al Winter is singing about some impactful lines about a young woman called Delta. I'm not going to really go into how it relates to the overall concept of the album, but this one definitely is a part of it. It may be one of the best melodic progressive songs of 2019, in my opinion, and it is skillfully and sensitively weaves infectious and often triumphant sounding progressive rock melodies together with emotional drenched melancholy passages and some greatly crafted and powerful lyrics from Al Winter. I have another song called When We Were Young, and this one really goes back to kind of the In Amber and Justified types of songs. It is probably the most touching piece on the album, and there's the most, I'm not going to say too much for the song because I don't want to spoil it, because this was definitely the strongest and the most powerful song that stood out to me anyways upon first initial listens to the album. I'm going to share one little thing that really was a nice touch. There's a very subtle violin sound that emphasizes the melancholy feel of this song and really gives it a sad observation on a loss, which I kind of get, maybe the loss of innocence, the loss of, identity as a person, probably, maybe. I'm maybe reading too much into that, but this is definitely the highlight song on the album. It's called When We Were Young, and everybody should definitely check that song out. Last song on the album, this one is called Carnival. The song starts off with a pipe organ noises of a circus, which morph into a gentle piano and guitar intro. Then bang! The song briefly explodes with keyboards and drums before an acoustic guitar kicks in, and we have some very initiatively thought out singing filled with images and regretful lyrics from Al Winter. and it's a great way to end an album, definitely. My final thoughts on A Tower of Clocks are I'm very highly impressed with this album and the band themselves, and I will keep listening to them and this album for the next coming months. I know I will. It's had that much of an impact on me. And I hope you, as the listener and the fan, will actively seek out and listen to this magnificent release when it's released. It's terrific stuff, and the cover of this album too is fabulous. I'll put a little picture up here, and it really suits the feel of the album, definitely. You know, and it's still early in the year, but I'm going to, or no, I'm not going to. I know this is going to be on my top 10 list at the end of the year, and it's going to be probably one of the best melodic progressive albums of 2019. I would like to give a big thanks to the group, you know, Al, Mark, Graham, Scott, Andy, and Pete. You've outdone yourselves. This is truly a gift from you guys to us music fans, and I appreciate it, and it's brilliant. Keep up the good work, and I hope we have many, many years of great music coming from you guys. Also, I want to say this would be an excellent addition to any prog rock music collection, and we have to support groups like This Winter Machine because they are an independent band, and it is up to us fans to keep them alive and able to make wonderful music such as this. So please support them. Buy this album. It's coming out in a few weeks. Take it from me, you won't be disappointed. And as a final rating, I'm going to give this album an 88%, and I look forward to more in the future from This Winter Machine. Good night, everybody. Take care of each other, and we'll see each other soon.